Alright, so I'd like to show you some of the design parameters of the Clovis and make it very different from any other mechanical broadhead in the market. I've talked about the tip already. You can see the recess for the set screw, the front tip, that's going to be beveled out 90 degrees there. So on the finished model, that's nice and flush that you're going to get through production. And then moving back, I want to talk about kind of the Clovis folded up today, because that's probably its biggest design characteristic that sets it apart from any other broadhead in the world. And that is our cutting blades. The fact that they fold up, they are streamlined in design, so they are completely 100% hidden inside of the ferrule. And if you have the two set screws in here and here, which it will come from the factory as, it is in locked mode. And so those two set screws, I put one in this way, and the alternate will put it in this way on the back side, just to make sure we have complete centricity when you're practicing. But those set screws are going to lock those cutting blades in. They cannot deploy upon impact. They'll stay secure as concrete in there for you when you're practicing. And then just make sure you remove these two during, or before I should say, hunting. Obviously don't take your large 440 out. That's going to hold your cutting blades in. However, if you want to go ahead and change these cutting blades out to brand new fresh blades, you simply just remove that main 440 set screw and you're good to go. Slide them out, line them up, and then screw it back in. I'll make a video doing that later and show you. But the cutting blades are going to be razor sharp along this edge and this edge, and they're going to actually come right up to this window edge here. You'll see them when you get your Clovis, that those cutting blades are right there, ready to explode out of the broadhead upon impact. But then at the back, we have our EarthTech retention system. It's our magnetic rare earth magnet. It's going to hold those stainless steel cutting blades in securely and keep centricity and complete lockdown mode during your shot and in the air. And that magnet's going to go ahead and touch the faces, which are the flat faces of these cutting blades here and here. And once they come in and touch, of course, it follows the inverse square law, which I've been talking about the whole time during this design process. And that basically tells you and me that once these stainless steel cutting blades touch that magnet, they're locked. They are on. It takes about a pound of force this way along the y-axis here to pull those off. And then it takes 3 pounds of impact up front because of the lever action. It's a first-class lever with mechanical advantage of less than 1. So what you have is you have a 3-pound force here or here. We'll go ahead and deploy your wing blades, and that way it's going to ensure complete centricity upon acceleration of shot during the entire duration of flight until the moment of impact, which is what we want. What you don't want are blades hanging out. A lot of designs have blades hanging out the back of the ferrule here to wind plane and catch. They can catch material. They move on the shot. They have inertia. They're sitting still, so at the shot, the whole ferrule body is going forward. And then these wing blades want to kind of flex out or upward and back, or this one downward and back. If you have an O-ring back here, or a collar, or a retention spring clip, or a spring steel finger, or whatever you have holding your blades in, everything else is just a whole lot more complex because our magnetic EarthTech system literally doesn't move. So there's nothing that has to move. There's nothing that has to break. Nothing, like in the past, these mechanical broadheads, nothing has to happen except you shoot your arrow and you shoot your broadhead, and that's all you have to think about. So with a Clovis, you don't think about anything. These blades are locked on the magnet. They will not move. The benefit of that also on the other end is not only are they locked on the magnet at the shot and during duration of flight, but on impact, they must blow open instantaneously. So there's nothing holding them back. There's no rubber band or collar back here kind of holding them in, and they must push, and break through to finally open. Upon impact, this wing blade experiences 3 pounds of force, and they can't open during flight or at the shot because we have our wing blade hole design here, making sure that along this axis, the majority of the weight of this cutting blade is on the right side and the left side. And that way your wing blades on acceleration, it doesn't matter what bow you shoot this out of, from from a 1 pound pullback force bow to a Raven crossbow or 10-point crossbow shooting at 500 plus feet per second, those cutting blades securely against that magnet at all times. As a matter of fact, the faster the bow, the more the blades want to sit against that magnet. So it actually helps us the more speed we have. It doesn't hurt you at all, like in some broadheads cases. And then, of course, on impact, these are completely locked in here on the magnet, and they will not deploy at all. You literally can put this on an arrow and go ahead and shake it as violently as you want in your hand. You're not going to get these cutting blades to deploy. And then on the other end, on impact, we wanted to make sure that we have about 3 pounds of force here. These can go through little bits of brush and grass and debris and maybe hit a briar or two. Obviously, with bow hunting, you want a nice clean shot window, and that would be good. We don't want you to hit things with the Clovis, but if you do, these cutting blades will stay nice and secure against a magnet upon impact. when 3 pounds of force here or here is going to instantaneously blow our cutting blades off the magnet and give you that huge entrance hole that you're looking for, and just absolute kinetic energy efficiency retention through the animal. The entire design is to get that energy through the deer or through the game animal, and that's what the Clovis is going to do for you with this folded up mode. And another thing I like about it a lot is these cutting blades being hidden and secure. You're going to have nothing hanging out to drag in the air at all. On some of the broadheads or other designs, you'll get some metal parts hanging out and blades hanging out, collars back here, or O-rings, or dental bands, or spring clips, but we just have none of that. We got rid of all of it for the Clovis. We're pretty excited about that. We're proud of that. We think it functions as the most simple yet effective mechanical broadhead in the world. And we would go ahead and ask you to challenge that. If you're interested in buying our products, the pre-sale is on now. We're just dumping into the regular 1,000 bulk order. The first few 100 are already bought. So if you are interested, check out our website at www.triplepointoutdoors.com. And I hope you enjoyed the Clovis folded up.